When it comes to hot-button topics, few bring up as strong emotions as gun control and the safety of kids in our schools. Land Commissioner Patterson has taken stances on each issue that could upset different parts of the political spectrum. We sat down earlier this week for an in-depth discussion. So obviously guns has been a hot topic this session, and you have expressed support for maybe armed personnel in schools. There are some districts that are actually jumping on board now, but what if parents don't want their child to go to a school where there are guns?
What if parents don't want their child to go to the mall where there are police officers? That doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, the objective is safety. We should do whatever enhances safety, no matter who we offend. And if we have a hoplophobic parent, somebody who has an inordinate fear of firearms, that's just too bad. I'm a proponent of having a competent, capable, trained person at every public school with a firearm. That could be a principal, it could be a vice principal, it could be a coach, it could be a teacher, it could be a cop, could be a security guard, because whenever you have a shooter in a circumstance where that shooter is in complete control because it's a gun-free zone, that shooter remains in complete control until someone can return fire. When the first person that returns fire, the dynamic has changed. That shooter, that mentally deranged person no longer is focusing solely on victims. He's focusing on a threat to him.
Well, we talk about vouchers for academics, but what if parents, want vouchers to be able to move their kids to a school that might not have weapons?
You can homeschool. I mean, if you want to. No, I don't. No, I think that is just bizarre that somebody would be wrapped around the axle about the fact that there might be an armed guard at a school. HISD has a police force of 200. They're cops, they're peace officers, they're at schools. AISD, I don't know the number. All school districts have armed folks, but they're generally at middle schools and high schools. They call them resource officers. So any parent out there that's lamenting that there might be a competent armed person in a school is, go ahead and lament. I don't care. It's about safety, not about your fear of firearms.
What about the bill that Jason Villalba from up in Dallas has filed to get school marshals possibly?
Yeah, I think that's a good description for it, school marshals, because the other side, the people who don't like gun side, we don't need every teacher having a gun. Well, nobody's talking about that. Just relax. We're not talking about every classroom with a gun. We're talking about someone who can respond, someone who has access to a firearm, someone who's competent, trained, and inclined and designated to respond should there be a shooter in a school. It's just plain common sense.
You are running for Lieutenant Governor in 2014.